Hi, my name's Tom and welcome back to another classic Quake live match review. Today we're watching Cypher vs Avek from the FaceIt Legends tournament from 2012. These guys are facing off in the semi-final and we've got another blood run game. Now I did want to talk about the furious heights between these guys, but on rewatching it, it was so one-sided in favor of Avek that it really just wasn't interesting to talk about. It was a complete smash. Avek dominated Cypher and Cypher forfeited after about 6 minutes. So let's talk about another blood run. Okay, I haven't watched this game through, I know it's a bit closer, and we're on Avek's point of view. This is an online tournament, so the perspective will be a little bit choppier than we're used to with the smooth LAN gameplay I tend to try and feature, but these guys are always exciting to watch because, you know, in this case they're playing on the same team, Team Millennium, they practice together all the time, they always do some cool aggressive stuff, they've always got something nice to pull out when they face off against each other, so fairly normal starts here. Cypher getting top yellow armor and red, he's gonna really lack weaponry, and so Avek, you can see, is sitting here at this mega position trying to make sure that Cypher pays if he wants to come and get a gun. That rail will do that, but Cypher has done probably more plasma damage than he's due, and that's a really beautiful rocket. Now Avek's gonna have a pretty easy time stacking back up on everything here, which is unfortunate timing for Cypher because he's kind of done everything right. He got very fortunate. Well, everything right except just hanging around a bit too long. Now that's another lucky rocket for Cypher. That's going to make Avek maybe think twice, you know, not necessarily really confidently stay at this mega. He's looking around for Cypher to be pulling some trap. Cypher isn't pulling some trap. So Avek does stack back up, but not particularly confidently, and he's not in a position where he's just going to dominate the map and dominate this next red armor. Now, he is going to come and look for this, and he is in time to bully Cypher away, so again, Cypher kind of doing the right plays, but just not having enough time to actually get onto the item. Really important shot for Avek to hit here. Not only will that force Cypher away, but it will make picking up this item, you know, picking up this item will put Avek at a huge advantage. Now, Cypher, you know, he can't continue to push around these stairs, and this is the moment where if Avek gets a really clean pickup of this mega, he, you know, firmly puts himself in control of the map, and so really nice play for Avek. You know, he's hit some good shots when they've mattered. He's punished Cypher for hanging around a little bit longer than he was maybe due, and now just taking an opportunity to be quiet, to wait for Cypher to cross the map somewhere and try and catch him out. You know, expecting some kind of pressure at this red armor. Cypher, no such pressure, happy to just sit back and collect yellow armors and build up the biggest stack that he can, so that, you know, when the fight does come to him, he is best prepared to defend himself. Because right now it is going to be Avek bringing the fight. Now Cypher, he might have only just picked up that lightning gun for the first time actually. Avek really just dominating the bottom corridor here and making it hard for Cypher to move around anywhere. Avek makes a lot of noise coming up through those shards, and again, he knows that Cypher's going to be somewhere. Nice position there for Cypher, nice and tricky. Not enough to, you know, trick Avek, not enough to catch him out jumping without Cypher taking the pressure with the railgun first. I like this for Avek, right? He's got a good bit of control. He's looking for you know, Cypher to be in an easy to hit position. Excellent timing here for Avek. He has loads of time coming down to this mega. He's in no rush. Cypher just hanging out, listening for the sound cue, and hits a nice bonus shot to boot. Now, Avek is still going to have a big advantage. Cypher probably building up quite a formidable armor stack at this point, especially with the pickup of that red. And he gets away through the bottom of that, actually waiting to see Avek peeks there to look for a shot of his own. Very cheeky for Cypher, and that is a real Cypher angle. You really don't expect him to necessarily be sticking his head up with the railgun there. Now we've got our first big, you know, open committed fight in a while, and Cypher is going to come out ahead. Beautiful. Avek, you know, tries to sneak away at the bottom of the map, but of course Cypher's going to be there to just completely trap him, and Cypher has an opportunity here to take something on the map. Now Avek does respawn into a pickup of that dropped rocket launcher. That couldn't be more perfect for him with mega imminent. I like this position here for Cypher, looking for just as much cheap, you know, free even rocket damage as he can as Avek comes around that corner. No railgun for Avek here, so Cypher has the opportunity to play a longer ranged game, takes advantage of that straight away. Avek shouldn't get out of here without taking a little bit more damage, manages to do so. And now it's Avek trying to use this rocket launcher to keep Cypher out of the fight. He runs out of rocket ammo. This is going to make this fight hard for Avek. He comes around the corner into the OG of Cypher, trades about as much damage as he could hope, but of course it isn't enough. And with that mega, Cypher's going to be in a much stronger position. Avek has no guns to defend this red. He's going to have to keep moving. Here comes the pressure from Cypher. The rail surely. And now Avek has to kind of be running scared. Cypher, I mean, you know, I'm trying to put an exact number on it. This is a bit of an odd position for Cypher. This really lets Avek get cozy down here at this mega. I don't know if Cypher's timing it, too precisely, if he's planning on making some kind of drop, some kind of play, or if I've just mistimed it here, because I really thought that mega was coming about then. Surely, like, we've just been here for about 35 seconds now. Avek does pick it up. Cypher knows he has time to drop down and hit all the damage, and he's gonna continue to keep Avek low. Avek commits as Cypher jumps across to the red. Cypher not prepared for that much LG, and that was absolutely beautiful. I'm glad that I talked about this game instead of the Furious Heights. This is a lot more tight, a lot more interesting. That commitment with the lightning gun from Avek, he was so weak. That was such a huge risk, but he just knew exactly how Cypher was going to be moving. Now, Avek stuck low following that fight, not able to pick up a yellow and get away, and again, Cypher capitalizing on this, right? He obviously had a better sense of when that armor was, of where Avek was going to try to be going. Cypher messes up his movement. This is a huge opportunity for Avek. It's just the tension. You could cut it with a knife. Avek desperate to hit a shot on the jump across, and these rails have just been insane. Now, Cypher should know that Avek doesn't have other weapons, but Cypher, it's gonna be hard to make this drop down. It's going to be hard to make any damage here. Avek's too well established. And overall, it feels like Avek has had a lot of opportunities to just get really, really cozy and really established at these megahertz. And the second Avek moves away, Cypher's there to steal it. You can't get too much cheekier than that. Now, Avek does get the red. We just have a trade of the items. That's not a disaster for Avek, but that was a very cheeky little moment from Cypher. He must have been right there, around the corner from the LG listening. But okay. 100, 200, and Cypher's going to be like 200, 100. I would say this is pretty even. Cypher might even have a slight advantage, but Avek is in this room first. He hits a little tickle of rocket damage, and any trade of damage here can really establish who's going to be getting this red. Both players desperate to make something. Avek doesn't want to get fooled at this mega again. He thinks he can drop down, pick up the item, and then hit damage onto Cypher. Now he makes a sound at that shard, so Cypher's going to know exactly what Avek is up to. And Cypher actually tries to sneak through the bottom. He goes for the same trick again, somehow hits insane rockets onto Avek. That was kind of crazy. I'm surprised Cypher was down there. Maybe Cypher just realizing that that Avek had kind of outmaneuvered him, outpositioned him. Maybe Cypher was hoping to come around that corner with Avek still looking for the shot onto red. Not entirely sure, but definitely a surprise. And that is something you can say about Cypher for sure. He's always got a surprise up his sleeve. I like this position for Avek, looking to catch Cypher jumping onto red for massive damage. Gets the catch, gets the damage, surely gets the frag. Oh, just running out of cells and having to swap to that rail, not able to hit his shot. So Cypher, really getting away with murder here. 2.5 minutes remaining, and Avek is starting to have a pretty scary frag margin to fight back against. Every frag on Blood Run, you can really run the clock down. You can play this top yellow position. It can be hard to chase. Nice bit of spam here, and you can see Cypher starting to maybe slow this game down a bit, starting to try and play for time, starting to try and play for the advantage that he already has. He knows that Avek probably is actually going to get a pretty sizable stack advantage here, and Avek trying to bait Cypher into the jump so he can get even more LG damage. Avek, he's going to come across and try and take everything here, going so aggressive, boxing Cypher out of red entirely, stealing his yellow as well. He could even do something crazy and try and go around to the other yellow. He's just going to take his red. I like the little quiet look up towards the stairs in case Cypher's going to stick his head out. And because at this point I think Avek's kind of locking into the cadence of Cypher. As I said, these guys teammates, for many times, for different teams throughout their Quake Live life. But for many years of the Quake life cycle, were teammates, did practice together a lot. And I think you can really see that knowledge of the kind of things Cypher wants to do. Avek, just chases down a nice spawn frag here, really dominating Cycle on these armors right now. Nice rocket placement onto the side of that doorway, the route that Cypher's going to try and use to escape. Avek's going to come down. He knows Cypher doesn't have the rail, so peeking his head around here is going to be a lot safer. I'm pretty sure Cypher doesn't have a rail. We'll find out in a second. Alright, and so Avek, with one frag to chase down with a minute remaining, has all the stacks. Cypher just hiding, desperately, hoping that Avek can't find him here. Avek suspecting maybe that Cypher's hiding near the bounce pad, and I think he's going to come around and check here. This is like the place you come and hide. Nice pick up of the armor while he's doing it, and he's caught glimpse of Cypher. Surely Cypher can't get away from this. The chase is going to be too strong. Avek has to throw everything he has into Cypher right now with 30 seconds on the clock. No time to think about that armor. Cypher stokes his head forward at the wrong minute. There's a rocket there to push him back towards Avek. And Avek, he's taken a bit of damage, but there's enough stack here that depending on the spawn Cypher gets, he could go in. You do have to respect the Cypher plasma though. And Cypher actually gets rockets, you know, probably the most defensive weapon, the hardest weapon for Avek to push into when he's just 100-100, and so we're gonna see an overtime. Cypher actually makes a really ballsy jump across to that red, Avek missing his fairly critical rail to negate that pickup, and now we actually have this railgun battle. This could easily put Cypher back in the driving seat. Alright, so a split of the yellows following that. That's not too bad for either player. Cypher comes and actually has time to damage Avek's yellow. This is nice play by Cypher. He's in a good position to pressure this red armor. Avek double backs around to look for a second shot before making the jump across. Really wants to get this jump safe, because if he gets a clean red, he's going to have a lot to play for coming into Mega. Cypher knows it. And so with 1 minute 30 now, Cypher has to somehow get on a weapon, get on some stack. Avek going to be playing very, very defensively towards this Mega. Cypher, you can feel the desperation. He knows that even though he has no resources, he has to make something happen. Walking out onto this platform with rockets, you can't get more desperate than this. He knows that he doesn't want Avek to pick up this item, and Cypher just kind of accepts his fate here. He jumps across, takes another frag, and this game, again, going to Avek. A really, really powerful performance there. Great moments from both players. I was really impressed with how Avek played his control at the start, how he used his advantage, and I loved a lot of the cheeky moves Cypher made. I think the Cypher rockets were really strong this game. One fight down in the corridors in particular, it felt like Cypher got a lot more damage than he should have, but I think the star of the show for me was the catch on Cypher jumping across to the red armor. Just huge commitment from Avek, and he really just made some magic happen. So, fantastic game. It would have been cool to see some of this game from Cypher's point of view as well. Unfortunately, we only have the Avek point of view, but this was, I think, a pretty good game. You know, these two players, I don't think either of them necessarily in their strongest point in Quake Live, and Cypher just stands still at this point. He knows. The ultimate resignation. Really, really well played by Avek. Well-deserved win. So, that's another classic Quake Live game. If you enjoy these videos, please let me know. I love hearing it. I love hearing what people think. If you think there are things I can do better, let me know. If there are games you want to see me cover, let me know. If you want me to talk about your games, send me some demos. Find me on Discord. You can find me in all the Australian Quake Discords. So, thank you very much, everyone who's been tuning in. It's been good coming back and getting a lot of positive reception. I promise I'll talk about some maps that aren't Blood Run, but there are a lot of good games on Blood Run. Alright, thanks. I'll catch you next time.